Hello, EFR 515 students. Today we're talking about Chapter 6 on probability. Uh, this can be a difficult chapter to read and understand, but it's just fundamental to understanding statistics. Because what's in nature is probability distributions. And from those distributions, we can ask, what's the chance of this occurring? And this is really what underlies the fundamental theories of statistics. So to understand this chapter is the basis of understanding the application and importance of statistics in general. So I just want to talk about the chapter a little bit before we get in the assignment. In essence is we talk about a population and a sample. And what we want to do, it's often expensive to observe an entire population. So what we want is a representative or random sample from that population that we then draw inference back to the population. And that's really where we're going, is with inferential statistics. So this is very important for us. We have the concept of random sample and independent random samples. And we start to look at the probabilities of things or ratios of things. Here, in essence, we talk about the frequency distributions. So then we talk about on 6.2, page 170, probability and normal distributions. And this is crucial for us. We really want to have a feel for the normal distribution and the probabilities underneath that. Specifically, the random normal distribution or the random Z distribution and the probabilities associated with the standard deviations. Because again, from our previous assignments, we had central tendency, and then we had variation around that, which we called standard deviation, or if you square the standard deviation, we have variance. And we see that throughout the chapter, so we really want to feel comfortable with that. We see z-scores come back for us, and some calculation of z's. We want to get to the standard normal distribution because we have tables for that. And our computer has that, and we can interpret that. For example, if your child is 2 standard deviations above the mean in math in grade school, you know they're doing pretty well in there because we can quote some probabilities of that. And that's normally how schools give out these z-scores or t-scores, which is just an expansion of the z-score. So this is very important for us to figure out and where we get the normal distribution. So what we're going to do, like on page 187, there's a little figure relationship and a normal distribution, superimpose that. So in the assignment 6, I ask you to simulate 2,000 random normal numbers and calculate the mean and standard deviation. Also create a histogram of the data with the normal curve superimposed on top of it. So in order to do that, we'll need to open our SPSS. Go ahead and do that. And we'll need the syntax window because I'm giving you some sample code to create those numbers with. So we'll need a syntax window. So I'll go up to File, New, Syntax. So what I had done is I had gone in and opened up my syntax. Again, I'll just go up to File, New, and open a syntax. Okay, then from my syntax editor here, I'm going to go back to the assignment, and I'm just going to copy over the code. I'm not going to copy over the data or the sample code section, and I'll just go ahead and make a copy of that. So I copy, and then I'm going to bring it over to my syntax editor, and I'm just going to go ahead and paste it in. Okay, you don't have to change this code, but if you wanted to, for example, what if I wanted to create 5 variables? I could say a vector x and put a 5 here. And if I only wanted to simulate 1,000 per one, I could put a 1 there, and then the loop would be 1 to 5 to correspond to the 5 vectors. But we don't have to do any of that. You just have to run this code here in order to generate your variables. So I'm going to go ahead and block on that. Again, I'm clicking left mouse at the bottom. I'm dragging it across, and then I'm going to go ahead and hit my run green triangle up here. And that's going to run my code, and it's also in the data window now. I should be able to see my data in the file. And that data will come in momentarily. There it is right there. Okay, so now I have 2,000 observations that were created based off a random normal distribution. in my data set. So I'm going to go ahead from there. I'm going to go ahead and to get my histogram, I'm going to go Graph, Legacy Dialog, Histogram. I'm going to bump over my X1, and I'm going to ask for Display Normal Curve. Click on that, and I'm going to go ahead and paste. Okay, because it's not the first time, what I pasted in there is going to my Centex window, and I have to go back to the Centex window and get that information. I happen to have two Centex windows open here. You should only have one. And it should come in right underneath. I can go ahead and block that, click the green arrow to run that. And that's going to go ahead and give me my distribution. As we see, it's bell-shaped. The mean is near 0. And the standard deviation is near 1 because it's a random normal distribution. Essentially, it's a Z distribution. So based on this, we can make probabilities. For example, the most probable outcome would be the 0. Some of the least probable outcomes, for example, -4 or +4. So those would be very uncommon occurrences within the distribution. So you really have to try to understand the probability aspect. They also talk about the binomial distribution in here, another important distribution for us. But right now, for what we're doing, it's not as important as the normal distribution and your comfort with the normal distribution. So then go ahead and paste your table in to your assignment. I just copied that. I click on it, copy it. Likewise, your graph, I'm just clicking on it and copying it over. And again, there's different ways to bring things over and function within that. But this is all I'm asking you to do. So I'm just going to come down here at the end here. And I'm going to go ahead and paste that in. And I also, the Centex is already here, so don't worry about that. So just give me the table and the Centex, and that'll be enough for this assignment. Go ahead and upload it, and then I'll get it graded. Thank you so much.